It's like I said, it's about addiction or whatever, and
Wait, how's it started off? Like addiction really changed my life. Like,
nah, what you addicted to right now?
okay, I'm addicted to crystal meth. It destroyed my life. It has put a hole on my life.
I mean, it ain't like no, it ain't nothing real serious. It's like
Okay.
shit, you can loosen up, you can smoke a cigarette, shit, you can.
All right.
Yeah, so just tell everybody your nickname or whatever, man, and just tell them what you're addicted to.
Street? They call you
ST,
Street?
ST.
ST?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Anyway,
What's going on,
My
man?
name's Randy, man. They call me Pugs.
That's what's up.
Addicted to speed, and it does take a toll on you, man. It does. It changes your life. You know, drugs does feel bad. It puts you out there, and get back on the streets. It makes you feel like you're not even so much tall. You'll feel like you're only like 3 foot tall doing drugs. And it messes with your life. It tears up your family. It messes with your heart and stuff like that. It messes with your mind. It does.
I was ready to say, man, this is like
It kind of make me nervous.
It's like the camera ain't even right here though. It's pretty much just like talking if you're talking on the street, man.
Am I good?
Yeah, you good, bro.
What kind of questions should I say though?
It's like just tell me what you're addicted to. Like I said, your nickname, where you from, baby.
Okay.
You can tell me like when you was younger, how you led up to the drugs.
Okay, let me start over. Okay. All right, my name is Joe. I'm from Eastern Kentucky. I'm addicted to methamphetamines, Neurontin, gabapentin, Xanax, just about anything really.
Yeah, them pills are still going like that.
Yeah, and I'm from Eastern Kentucky. It's changed my life from doing drugs over there. I've been married 2 times, lost 2 marriages, had a $30,000 home, lost it. I had a job.
What kind of job did you have?
Work on pipeline.
Pipeline?
Yeah, lost it. Had a house over in Cave Run Lake, lost it. Bought a
You lost it all due to the drugs, man?
bought a truck, got a brand new truck, paid $16,000 for, and paid it off. The last day I paid it off, totaled it. Last day I paid it, totaled it. It was on Christmas. I was on nerve pills, and I hit a semi, and it semi ran me off the road. And just, my toolbox was rammed right in the back of my truck, straight up. My whole truck was smashed, and it destroyed my life. It has. It's put me down. It's hurt my family.
You got kids?
And I ain't got no kids. If I had kids, I'm lucky. Right now, I don't, because hell, that'd be a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Whereas the situation I was in, I've been homeless for 4 years, living in a tent, and man, it was rough. I worked every day, making $300 a day, and still, still not even functional to even get a place. That's how bad I was on it. I was doing 3 or 4 grams a day of ice.
How'd you get it hooked on it?
Well, I got hooked on it. I was doing it since I was 13 years old, bottle dope.
Who got you? So that's what I'm saying. So who got you hooked on it at 13, or how did you get?
I met a dude that lived up the road from me, and started hanging out with him, and started smoking weed and shit. And I was like, that shit ain't nothing. And I didn't think that shit was even, that bad, bottle dope. And I was like, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, that weed.
And I was like, damn, what am I doing? I'm doing meth. I was freaked out, I was like, that's crazy. And I was doing it since I was 13,
Yeah.
And like, it's made a big impact in my life, man. It's destroyed my life. It has. Lost jobs, lost so many opportunities.
How'd you lose your first marriage? She knew that you was doing it, or?
Well, my first marriage went really serious as much as my second marriage. My first marriage was, I was 18, got young. I was, young.
That young marriage shit.
Yeah, I'm done, and got married. And then it didn't work out so long, about 3 years, And then my next marriage, I was with her for 5 years, and she didn't even know I was doing any kind of drugs. She asked me one time, she asked me, she's like, are you doing any kind of drugs? I was like, no. And I lied to her for 5 years straight. And I was driving from Moorhead all the way from Paintsville, and that's 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was driving that every day, getting shit. And I was coming back, and she wouldn't even notice me, she didn't notice, like, because I handled it good, and she didn't even know I was on anything. And like for a long time, and I cracked down, and I told her, I was like, I'm getting depressed. I got to tell you, I'm sitting down, I got to tell you something. And I was like, I've been hiding it for a very long time. I was like, I've been on drugs for 5 years. I hid it from you. And she's like, well, let's work this out. We can get through it. I was like, all right. It was a deep lie, where I lied to her all them years. And that's a hard thing to get over, you know that.
Yeah.
And it took a big pact on into her, And her family was telling her just leave me and go give up on me, And if he's gonna lie to you, he's gonna lie to you again,
Yeah, I know how.
And they's like, yeah, he ain't never gonna get off drugs. It's gonna be too hard for him. Well, I go to rehab, and I stay in there for 3 hours, and they had that place down locked down. I jump out of the window. And
whose idea was to go to rehab? Yours?
Well, my ex-old ladies, me and her was gonna try to get everything worked back out. Everything we was gonna see if it would help. And I was like, I can't do this. And something in my mind was just, wanting that high, And I didn't want to sit there with all them people. I didn't even know who the hell they was. I jump out of that window. They call the law on me. And my ex-old lady, she comes and picks me up, and in my truck. And she's like, come on, let's go home. And what she does, she tried to take me to another rehab. And I said, fuck that. So I got in the car and left her and drove off and left her ass.
Yeah,
and left her at that rehab. And so I said, fuck that. That's her, me and her never talked again for a little while.
How long did you do the rehab, though?
I didn't do the rehab because I just didn't feel like I
So you went in and came right back out?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel like I needed it, you know what I mean? I feel like I didn't want to listen to nobody. I didn't care at that time. I feel like I was, everybody else was, I was in the wrong. I didn't need to listen to them, And I was just chasing that, and I was like, everybody else, they're stupid, I don't need that. And
so what is it? You do the drug, or you don't do it all the time, or what? Because I mean, like, man, you keeping yourself up, man. Like, you still got all,
No, I'm just saying I don't do it no more. I smoke some weed. That's all I mostly do, because I'm trying to stay off that shit. That shit's destroyed my life. It really has. I'm like, if I could find, I do Suboxone. That's my main thing, Suboxone and smoking weed. If I didn't have my Suboxone every day, I'd probably be back on it.
How'd you kick the meth and everything then?
Well, I went from Johnson County, and I stayed there for about 4 years. I was homeless, living through all that, and I just got sick of it one day. And me and my old lady was just talking, just saying hey, better life than what we have here. But I was making, money. I was working for this dude. I was making $300 every 2 days, almost, cutting down trees and stuff. And I just couldn't function enough to keep a house or keep an apartment. I was that bad. But now I got an apartment, and I'm on my feet. It's been about 2 years since I've been, clean from that shit. It has.
So you went through all the body aches and.
Yeah, I went through all the stuff.
How long did that last?
Well, the body aches didn't really bother me. It was just in mostly in my mind, man. Making me depressed and making me, make me see who the person I was when I was on that shit, And it took a long time to find out who I was again. I was lost. I didn't even know who I was. I'm the kind of person that, rehab ain't gonna work. I don't think if you go rehab, if you're really serious, that might help you, but for me, I don't think rehab would help for me. I went through it though, but I could have went on my own and went through it. I'm saying but it did help me. Rehab did a little bit, I ain't gonna lie, and then I went to sober living. And then I finished sober living I think it was in there for about a year in there, and ever since that, I ain't touched it since.
So so you did try and everything. So, man, I guess so. You ain't in no communications with your ex-wives or nothing.
Nope.
That's your wife over there.
Yep.
How did y'all end up meeting?
Well, we was on drugs.
On drugs.
Yeah.
So how do y'all maintain a relationship? Does she do it?
We was. No, she don't do it now. But that was her drug of choice. That was that was her go-to thing, And man, it put us in jail. It put us, so many times it hurt our relationship. We fit through it, that shit ain't no joke. I mean, it does destroy your life. It really does. And it takes a big impact on your relationship because, it puts shit in your head. You're your spouse will be thinking, hey, you're talking to somebody. You don't want to be talking to somebody. And that dope will make them think that shit. It makes them, makes them wig out, think people's that not there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Women, it takes a big difference on
So
women.
how long you been homeless, man?
I was homeless for 4 years.
For 4 years?
Yeah. And I was making so good money, man. I was cutting trees and stuff. And I just couldn't even manage to keep a house or nothing.
So how you fight the urges and shit, man, being out here on the street, being homeless, and that's where, the drugs are going to come up on you and just be in your face all the time.
Well, if I didn't have my pre-roll, my weed, and my Suboxone, I'd probably be on it every day.
What's the Suboxone?
Suboxone is it's like an opium. It's like an opium. It helps you. It's like a pill that helps you get off of like opium and other drugs, but mostly opium. But it does help some methamphetamine too.
Right.
But like Suboxone, I've been on it for 2 years now. If I take it every day. If I don't take it every day, like if I'm out or something and I'm walking, and sometimes I think about that shit, getting back on it. I do. And I'll just try to stay busy and try to find some odd jobs or just work or, hang out with friends or try to do something, walk or do something. Try my best to stay forward and stay focused, off of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, man, what kind of store we like, you said that you wanted to run this. Usually I do them for like 10 minutes because that's pretty much
Okay.
how far anybody can go.
Okay.
I mean, not unless you had a good story for me or whatnot. You said you wanted to run it to 20.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought you were still having the addiction.
No.
And weed is an addiction, so I ain't gonna downplay that. But
I take gabapentin.
I feel like,
I take gabapentin. You know what that is?
Yeah, nah, I don't know what that.
You know what that is? It's
like those pills or
it's like a
pain pill.
It's like a pain pill. It's for people that's got like pinched nerve or got like diabetes or something like that.
Yeah.
I take that mostly sometimes. But if I don't have that, man, if I don't do my Suboxone and do that, I would be back on that ice bad, dude. I don't know. I just wish I never seen it. Wish I never even like met anybody that even done it really. My dad, it made a bad relationship with me and him. It made me.
So what do you want? You want to just run this to 10, man, and then whenever you more comfortable, man, and if you got anything else going on, and like say if you just smoke some weed and you won't get on there and talk about how you just smoked the weed or something, then we could pick up like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. Just go ahead, man. We signing on out, man. Just tell everybody your nickname again, man, or whatever.
My name's Joe. I'm from Eastern Kentucky.
All right.
My drug of choice is marijuana and speed.
All right, man. That's cool.